should say, because like I said, without you guys, without the fans, without the people who make everything possible in the bands, also the bands themselves, of course, which hopefully we'll get to that point eventually. We get people to interview with about the music that they do and about themselves, more about themselves, really personally, because I hear a lot of people talk about all the music, which is fine. I mean, that's awesome. Well, it's kind of like I'm thinking like talk show. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what this is all about. But anyway, right now we're gonna do some more lists of different bands, and the one thing I got thinking about is like besides doing movies, I did this like last week with another band, um, Machine Head, that's gonna be on tour, and I thought, why not? We're going to be talking about four different bands from there's well three other bands that are touring with Decapitated. Exmortus is one of those bands, and I figured I would talk about some of their songs and let you guys know just in case if you are in that kind of mood to get out there and go to a new cool concert with a really bunch of great bands, which Decapitated has got some phenomenal songs. I don't know that much about some of the other ones, like Rick and Mortis and some of the other bands they're touring with. But I guess if I go to the concert, which I'm hoping to do, we'll see what happens. I definitely would enjoy it very much because I definitely want to see them live because they are very impressive when it comes to their music. And I feel like I gotta go see them. It's one of those things. I just have to. Because, yeah, I definitely gotta check it out. Just like all the other bands I've seen so far, it's so freaking awesome, right? Number 20 is Defying the Gods, a complex track that challenges the notion of divine authority, which is kind of cool. The Lion's Den is number 19, is a chaotic, intense track that showcases the band's technical skills and aggressive sounds. Number 18 is Slave to the Sword, a powerful anthematic track that celebrates the spirit of the rebellion. Oh, spirit of rebellion and defiance. That's kind of cool. I like that. Sounds quite awesome. The darkest, see, number 17 is Beyond the Grave, a dark, atmospheric track that explores themes of death and the afterlife. Which reminds me, speaking of afterlife, if you don't know already, and I'm hoping that you do, and I'm still wanting to interview and talk to certain individuals, maybe later on, is Carla Harvey's new album, or I should say, new band called The Violet Hour. If you haven't seen it, checked it out. Check out her website called Pretty Girls Do Ugly Things. I think she's still got tour or her shirts up there for the band, like the logo and things like that. So go check it out. Buy a shirt and some of her artwork. It's great stuff. I mean, it's kind of like this. Well, not like this. It's a little different. That she does some her own artwork. She even did a self portrait of herself with her bunny ears because she used to be in Playboy and stuff like that. And when I think of the afterlife and rigor mortis, I think of her. Or the violence and not really violence because well actually violence is part of the title. I didn't even think about that. But anyway, it's really great. Hey, what's up? How are you doing, Luke? You doing okay? Sorry about that. Didn't see it. Hello, Hugo. What's up, man? Doing okay? I'm doing great myself personally. I'm just talking about some of the bands that are touring with Decapitate, which is like one of my favorite bands so far. I mean, they've probably been around a while. I just didn't know about them until like within the last few years. So they're fairly new to me personally, which I'm exploring a lot of different bands out there. So there's probably bands that most people have heard about for quite a while, and I just haven't. So one of those things, right? But it's good to explore, get to know some new ones. You never know. Hey, Noah Brown, how's? Oh, I'm doing great. I haven't had too many problems, things like that. Had a weird day though, but that's not too bad. I ended up going to a movie last night. Oh, thank you, appreciate Hugo. Thanks so much. Um, let's see here, feasting on. Oh, number 16 is feasting on the blood of the innocent. Is a fast-paced, aggressive track that celebrates violence and brutality, which is always good, right? When it comes to songs, like I said, it kind of reminds me of The Violent Hour from Carla. So I'm hoping that would be awesome. I can't wait for that. The one thing, now this is a guess. I'm high. Uh, I don't know, but I think she's going to do something along the lines of kind of her heavy stuff that she usually does. She probably has a little bit of light in there, and maybe for since she likes Elvira and stuff like that, I'm thinking maybe a little retro-ish style sound to it. I don't know, with a little heavy riffs to it. That's a guess. That's my educated guess on what I think that she will, how to say it, on her new album, the music, the way it sounds, the feel of it, I guess, the energy, whatever you want to call it. Because that's what I consider it energy. It's like the song's aura of energy when it comes to the sound of the music itself. It's one of those things, right? There you go. I love the con. What's that? Oh, thank you. Appreciate it, Goofy Gobbler. Thank you, Noah. Fresco pops. What's this? Why are they built like a temple? What? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm sorry. That's cool, right? Yeah, but who knows? It's pretty awesome. I'm glad you guys like it. I mean, it's not what I originally intended, but actually, quite frankly, knowing about new songs is just as important as getting to know the artist too. So actually, I thought, why not just keep going with it? People seem to like it, and plus, I was talking about like Cavalier Conspiracy a while back, and I got a lot of views with that one because they're so popular. The Cavalier brothers, because they were back, and I went to like what 2 or 3 shows of theirs, I think, maybe just two, but still, it was awesome shows, really freaking awesome. And I was surprised I could get two, let alone three. And I got two Sepultura shows in there between 2020, well, whenever they lifted COVID stuff, 2021, 2022, till now, which is like what 3 years. So that's pretty cool. And I got to see, God, a bunch of Raven Black and Slipknot and Cypress Hills and Horror. I think is the other one that opened for them. Really awesome stuff here in Colorado. Let's see here. And Incantation, I think is how you say their name, which is touring with Decapitated. Number 15 is Lex Talzon, I think is how you say it. They got some interesting names, so it's a little hard to pronounce. A slower atmospheric track with explores themes of revenge and retribution. Ooh, that's kind of crazy, right? That's cool, right? Yeah. Anyway, number 14 is the Sect of the Antichrist. Interesting. A blasphemous, aggressive track that attacks the organization of organized religion. Interesting. Yeah, there are some times that I think sometimes there are certain organizations. I don't think all of it's like that. It depends. It depends on who you are and different things. But who knows? Hard saying. Because sometimes I think there's some shady stuff going on with that. But who knows? It depends. Because we're all human. Things happen. That kind of stuff. I'm sure you know what I mean by that comment. Because I'm not getting into details. Kind of like other things. Number 13 is Conjurin, I think is how you say it. The complex and technical death metal track that delves into the darker side of the human nature, which is kind of crazy. Let's see, Infernal Storm. I'm going to put my phone over here. I want to get this on my camera because it'd be way better. But, I get better response on the phone. Go figure. The Infernal Storm is a chaotic and intense track that invokes images of hellfire and damnation. That sounds pretty impressive. Number 11 is Diabolic. Diabolic? Oh, classic death metal track. Ooh, death metal. Exploring the theme of death and decay and the occult. I guess they are a death metal band. I think, I believe Decapitated is a death metal band, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. It could be that, or maybe no, it's not new metal for sure. It's like heavier. Because usually new metal is a little bit more lighthearted, kind of like I don't know. I know like Zombie, I guess. Zombie's kind of more new metal than anything else. The Darkest Hour is the band that's touring with them as well. Number 10 is the Silent Majority, a slower logic logic track. Sorry, I can never say that right. So if you guys hear it, you know what I'm talking about. That track that explores the themes of isolation and alienation. Number nine is a Misery Index. That's an interesting title for a song, Misery Index. You're indexing miseries. It is a chaotic, intense track that reflects the band's frustrations and anger. So I guess in a way, you're cataloging your anger. It kind of reminds me of what is that Disney film where they have the emotions, that kind of thing, where they have different emotions like anger and frustration and stuff like that. Kind of reminds you that they're indexing it, so to speak. Anyway, number eight is Demons. Ooh, that sounds kind of interesting. Dark, an atmospheric track that delves into themes of evil and possession. That's kind of scary. Yeah, I'm not sure if I like the demon thing. That reminds me that there was a couple games on Steam that I saw, and I thought, oh, these are rather interesting. They had well, let's say adult-oriented style games, and they had some really interesting themes for it. I'm sure if you delve into that area, you know what I'm talking about probably, especially if it's on Steam. Number seven is the Backburner, the fast-paced and aggressive tracks that showcases the band's technical skills and brutal sounds. That sounds cool. The Eternal, which is kind of reminds me of like a god or something like that, right? An epic aromatic track that explores the themes of mortality and passage of time. Yeah, that's kind of reminds me of some of the stuff in Testament. Testament kind of has some songs that remind me of that a little bit, kind of like immortality and all this other stuff or whatever, or mortality. Who knows it? Yeah, it's hard saying. Okay, now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. I like this is my favorite. Decapitated. I'm not sure if any of these I know for certain that I've listened to or I've heard, but just so you know, they are good, and I'm sure that most, if not all, of these songs are really good too. They also, and it's not on the list. There's at least two songs I know that have a tie into well, at least one of the two. Actually, no, take that back. They're all in there. So Ginger and Machine Head are touring together, and both of those bands are actually in an album on an album with Decapitated on their album, and they have both of them on that same album, which are both phenomenal songs. And they're touring. That's kind of interesting. They're touring not together but separate. But the thing is, Machine Head is or has done or actually has a song out now that has all the bands that they're touring with right now currently, which we talked about before, which is kind of cool. And then Decapitated and Ginger, no, Ginger's touring with Machine Head. Decapitated is doing their own thing. That's what it is. Anyway, sorry, I was a little confused there, but anyway, I'm gonna go to the list. Virginity of Christ, a complex and technical track that challenges the traditional religious beliefs. Interesting. Bloodshed is number four, a brutal and violent track that explores the darker side of human nature. Kind of reminds me of like the Joker and some other things. Actually, I know that there was a couple of movies out just recently that tie into a little of that, the darker side of humanity and stuff like that. And some are based off of true stories. If you go out there and look, you'll find what I'm talking about. There's like one or two out there. I don't remember the names, but anyway, number three is the Winds of Change. It's a more metalogic. I think that's metalogic track that delves in the themes of hopes of redemption and redemption. Sorry, and not or and redemption. Number two is Atmospheres of Madness. Ooh, that sounds kind of I don't think I've heard that one. I'm gonna have to check that one out because that sounds like really cool. Spheres of Madness, a dark atmospheric journey of the depths of an intensity and the unknowing. That reminds me of Sweating Bullets. I think because of Madness reminds me of. Well, he talks about kind of hello me, it's the real me, blah blah, some way of life. My dark was a dark black past is my most valued possession. It's kind of reminds you like a dual personality, or there's something else living with deep and within inside the person's like an alter ego or something. So that's kind of what I would think this sphere of madness is all about, because it kind of reminds me of one episode of Star Trek, the one guy that's Riker, Um, he actually has this thing going on where he can't distinguish reality from what's going on in his mind, and somebody's screwing with him big time. I mean, they're I don't know I forgot the whole episode, but it's a really good episode. It's something to do where they do a play where he's pretending or playing being a madman, and it kind of reminds you a lot of stuff like this. It's kind of cool like that, right? Number one is the carnival is forever. Hmm. Carnival is forever. A chaotic, intense exploration of societal decay and the independence of doom of humanity. Okay, okay. The only thing I'm not sure why they call it carnival. Maybe it's because it's carnival lights a carnival. Like there's different things going on, kind of sideshows. I guess that explains that a little bit. And forever being like it's chaos and intensity of exploration. Oh, the decay of society. So maybe the carnival is a little bit of a sideshow, kind of, oddities, maybe possibly, and that society is a decay of impending doom of humanity. Well, sometimes I like the upbeat songs too, not so much all negative stuff, but it's kind of cool. But the whole point of metal is that to release those negative energies within you, I think, and kind of let go. Not too much, just enough to where you're not, everybody gets frustrated, right? They get upset, they get, have bad things happen in their lives, or maybe somebody's upset with them, even though that just, that they, one, are apologetic for that. Two, um, that maybe they were misunderstood when they said what they said, so they know. I'm not going to get anybody's name, but I got somebody mad at me, so yeah, that's my chaos, kind of. It's not really super chaos. It was more like a misunderstanding to a point, and even the wording too. It's like I got thinking, I said, oh, yeah, I can see where she would take that the wrong way. So I'm not going to get any names, but she knows who it is. And I'm sure she'll remember that, of course. But you know what? I want to be forgiven, and I'm hoping that she'll forgive me because, you know, forgiveness is the most important thing, right? Especially when people care about each other, or as a friend or more. And yeah, just like other people. Which reminds me, I haven't seen somebody on here in a while. My one of my oldest and most faithful I say followers, I should say, Miss Amber. Hopefully she's doing well. I did get a message from her just recently. She's really awesome. She's a really great person. Um, yeah, it's one of those things. So we got another Russian. I love this. This is great. People from Russia. See that's right there is what I'm talking about. The chaos. Societal decay. I mean, I at first I know why is somebody doing certain things in this war that's going on, right, with Putin and stuff. I think understand a little bit more now than I did before about what exactly he's wanting. Part of it could be more than that. Who knows? I mean, I think a lot of it has something to do with I thought it was like something to do with a port. I said, well, why don't they just try to make out a deal or something? But really, it's a little more than that. But I think he wants to get the whole country back, which is kind of ridiculous. It's been the other way for a while. Why do that, right? Why make people suffer? Just like all this other stuff. All like oh, that reminds me. I just saw in the news about the I forgot Syria, I think is what it is. I believe. I hope I'm right. Where the leader left, just up and left, and now everybody's taking over because they probably pushed in so far. So now they're gained their independence. But with that comes when there's no leadership at all, and there's different people with different opinions that somebody's not, you know, people listen to, basically, whether it's good or bad or evil or whatever, or we assume is evil for dictatorship. What the heck? I got a little red spot on my screen. Okay, that's weird. Anyway, let's see. Hold on here. 1 second here. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, never mind. Um, anyway, with that said, it's one of those things that sometimes it could be worse than what the the regime that was there beforehand, because I've seen that happen before a long time ago with different types of other countries where they've had ISIS come in later on. And part of that was something to do with there are some of the soldiers that were trained by the U.S., I think is what it was. I don't remember offhand, so don't quote me on that. But I think what it was is somehow where there were certain individuals that were not as righteous or as good as they thought, and things turned backwards on them. So yeah, sometimes doing good things for people sometimes doesn't always pan out the way you expect. Just like the leaders being gone, that's the fall of this, that, and the other. It's kind of like Russia and the Cold Wars and stuff like that with a communist country. It's the same thing. Things change, but I mean, we've had peace for quite a while under Putin. And then all of a sudden all of a sudden he's changed his mind. I don't know, but I think it has something to do with minerals. It has something to do with something that's valuable or worthwhile for them to go after, just like other things. It's the same thing. Just every other country. Well, certain things are like that. I'm sorry. I was looking at something to do with my microphone, which I haven't used for a while because I'm not using my computer for my stream. But yeah, and plus they sound a lot better there too. Anyway, so I will let you guys go because I don't think I have too many people on here. I've got I don't know how to say their name. BQMI. Yeah, that's really hard. I thought the other stuff was hard to pronounce. I'm an older guy, I should say. So sometimes I have a hard time pronouncing. I've forgotten some of the ways of pronunciation of the words that I know or whatever. So yeah, it's been a while because it's been what almost 30 years or so since I've been in school, college, whatever. So I just wanted to say fond farewells. But before I do, one last message. Don't forget, somebody's coming out with their new album, and I want you guys to check it out. I wanted to help promote her because she needs that, I think, because she's done a lot in her life. She's gone through a lot of stuff in her life. And as far as I'm concerned, just like she said before, just because I'm pretty doesn't mean I can't do anything I put my mind to. And that's very true for any woman out there. I just want you all to know that. Because to me, I really do my best myself personally to try, if I can, promote a band with women in it. I'm all for that because to me it's awesome. In other words, she said just because got a pretty face doesn't mean that I can't do other things. I said because some guys, well, why would you want to do that? It's like because she wants to be creative. She wants to do something. She wrote a comic book. She's wrote a book. She's done artwork. She's done music. She's done all kinds of stuff. So and also a mortician as well. So the Violet Hour will be out hopefully shortly. We'll see. I thought Halloween maybe before Christmas or maybe just before like the summer dates because tours usually happen during the summer, June, July, August, maybe possibly. So that might be a possibility. That's my other guess. Probably maybe April release, maybe possibly, or maybe on March on my birthday, March 1st. You never know. That'd be interesting. I'm pretty sure she knows my birthday because I think I mentioned it, but I could be wrong. Who knows? Anyway, take care. Thanks for watching. You guys stay out of trouble. Don't forget to headbang and like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you next week. And I apologize for last night. So I do have some videos that are a little longer, so that's probably in a way I'm making up for it right now. Like this one's 20 some minutes and it should be 15, but that's okay. It's not that big a deal. All right, take care. Peace out. You guys all headbang, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to headbang and like your bands out there and all the people behind it. And also make sure you thank the security guys. They do a phenomenal job out there. The lighting, the sound, everybody that's in the venues. Appreciate those people. They work hard to provide a great show for all of us. So I always thank the guys. Appreciate it. Take care.